No one expected that, did they? How unexpected. We're going to talk about the main event of tonight's NXT. Right now, don't you go changing.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Nobody saw it coming. Wow. There it is. We got Kyle. Who are you going to be Kyle too, or are you? Hold on. Wait. This is my mini trophy. Hi, I'm Bobby Fish. Welcome to the NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV Wrestling and Sports. I am one of your hosts. I'm just so taken aback by the terrifying results. Mark Donica, joined as always by Mr. Robert Baines.
Yeah, Killer Bob in the house.
What's up?
Here.
What's up, KB?
Yeah, I'm not like Killer Mike. I don't kill people with a microphone, though that is an option I'm willing to further invest in.
Is it forceful ingestion?
It will be just wrapping the cord around their neck and pulling as tightly as possible.
Then you have to be Mike Cable Bob. Like
Well,
it's
no,
Mike
it's
Cable.
part of the mic.
No, it's the mic's the Bill Hanstock's here.
Killer Cable, hello.
Ooh, Killer Cable. Let's talk about tonight's show.
Reference.
And I understood that reference. We're
I get on a trash can.
Oh boy. Actually, did he make that? I kind of remember.
It was Ian Riccaboni and is that his name? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
Ian,
or Richie
Boner. And
Rich Boner.
Dalton Castle were the two that made at the All-In
that's
Ground
right.
Zero Hour. Ground Zero Hour.
Ground beef hour.
Yeah. That's Guy Fieri's Triple G or Triple D.
Triple GD. Oh God.
Oh.
How about that? Tonight.
How did they make the movie Smallfoot and they didn't cast Guy Fieri?
See Yeti with frosted tips.
The marketing says Yeti or not.
We don't know if he's if he's like the cook, the chef or something of the Yeti community. So he could be in there.
I hope he is. I hope he is.
With anybody, I got this donkey sauce. Let's.
And it's sauce made out of the donkey.
Sauce. Guy Fieri, there he is.
That's isn't that Channing Tatum's?
Sure.
That's Braun Strowman
Well,
next month.
it's clearly Seth Rogen. I mean, that's just a picture of Seth Rogen. Happy Yom Kippur, everybody.
Yeah, we're here.
You better atone. God's coming for you.
That's a great
Hulk
way
Hogan.
Can't tell. Tonight was a really eventful show, and we have a lot to talk about. Let's talk.
We don't, actually.
Shut up.
Burying the lead. Nothing happened. Nothing's changed. Everything's exactly the same as it was. NXT is actually just a comedy.
Well,
Hashtag NXT is fine.
well,
Yeah, NXT is
guys,
fine.
we have to say, this is the first Wednesday in a bold new era of Wednesday nights.
Oh,
because
yes.
now we have 205 live, followed by NXT, followed by the Mae Young Classic, which airs at the same time as tonight, the season premiere of Total Divas.
That's too much content. No,
It's almost like Wednesday's the good night of wrestling.
almost.
Yeah.
And
Mixed Match Challenge came back last night, though.
and Lucha Underground is still on Wednesdays too. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Lucha Underground is on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I think
So it's
WWE's
5, 6
just trying to bury Lucha Underground
Well, no,
in
because
a pile of
it airs
content.
at 8. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. You can still get done with Mae Young Classic and then tune in to the El Rey Network to watch Lucha Underground. That's one of the drops that they use. Anyway,
That was weird.
yeah. So
Ladder match!
actually, do we still have ladder match on here? Probably not. Wait. No, we don't. Okay,
No!
because we did. We also he's gonna find it. It should just be a ladder match.
This is great
No,
television and great audio.
Okay, that's fine. Because I loaded that up, and we also had the FU from Mariposa and Dulce's No Mas match. Either way, a lot of great wrestling tonight. Not going to talk about 205 Live as a part of this program yet, because I'm still very unavailable at 4 p.m. and they kind of made it worse. So let's WWE, not my current employer, but let's talk about the first match of the night: Dakota Kai, Deonna Purrazzo versus Aaliyah and Lacey Evans.
Deonna Purrazzo fresh off a win
Yeah.
on the second episode of the Mae Young Classic.
Comes into this and with all of the hope in the world.
All of it.
I liked how Aaliyah and Lacey kept her isolated. Kept Deanna isolated for the majority of the match.
Because they're like, ooh, that one's gonna twist our bones and to make her bread.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's just a good idea to isolate the larger of the two, especially if it's Dakota Kai, who has a history of being ripped apart.
Right.
So,
but I do like that it backfired on them a little bit when Dakota Kai fired up and got to demonstrate, I'm also dangerous.
she is, but it seems like all of her danger is relatively short-lived. She doesn't have enough longevity to truly outlast anything that comes her way.
So she's just danger-esque.
Yeah, right. As long as she never gets hit or touched in any way, she's totally dangerous. But in any fight, you generally get punched in the mouth, and if you can't take getting punched in the mouth,
Looks like you're gonna have to
probably
jump.
not gonna last. Yeah.
Sorry. Would you say that her partner is dangerous too?
Yeah, no, she's the virtuosa.
Oh, that's. I like this match. I don't know where we're going with it. Because,
No one does. That's what makes it fun.
Because we had Lacey Evans get the win with the women's right. That is a hell of a punch.
Didn't
But I
look
don't.
as good, but it was obviously effective.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't
was-
have to look great.
Dakota Kai was completely unprotected, did not have a hand up at all to sort of block it or diminish the force of the blow. She just took it and just crumpled.
She's a leg person, so she couldn't get her leg up in time. That's a big space to cover.
You know, I don't know if I'm breaking this news to you.
Oh?
But you have both legs and arms
No, I guess,
to
but
use
as
in
the-
a physical competition.
Okay,
I don't buy it.
here we're breaking a little bit of the fourth wall. I'm coming at this from a producer perspective. If you're billed as the captain of Team Kick, you should tie your arms behind your back.
That's a bad idea.
No,
I think
legs
you can
behind your
still
arms.
use
Yeah.
your arms for defense
why?
because you stand upright like a biped.
But you just get a leg up. Shout out to our audio listeners. You just get a leg up. Just get a leg up.
Everything's with the knees.
Jeez.
What are you? Stop.
I pooped the
Oh,
phone.
he broke something.
No.
I pooped the phone.
Steve, that wasn't anything from the studio. That was
It was
the
his
phone.
own personal property that he broke. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and make my once a year command ruling that we just stop talking about this episode and talk about the Spider-Man video game for the rest of
No, we can't.
I haven't even played a Spider-Man
No,
video.
Well, let me tell you about how cool it is.
Dude, it's so good. Anyway,
Really, it's so good.
Yeah. See, even our producer.
we got
agrees.
approved. We got approved.
Guys, I'll allow it. This is Steve from the booth. Go ahead.
A couple weeks ago, we
I like that way better than wrestling.
we were talking about the Henry Cavill news, and we got a comment. We love your comments of just like, I really like the antics that y'all get into, but I was really hoping that you would just talk about wrestling the whole time.
Oh.
And we're like, okay,
Oh, you
all right.
poor
You want us
dears.
to
That's
watch-
it. Like that's we did a complete break. We didn't even like try to make it like, well, this is like when Henry Cavill didn't shave his mustache in Justice League. And we didn't make like
It was one of those moments where we were like, didn't there used to be rails here? Oh, they're
middle of
way
nowhere.
back there.
they paved over the railroad a long time ago.
Yeah. Sounded something like that, I imagine.
Anyway.
The one time I'm not here.
Yeah, we go off topic the one time you're not here.
Yeah.
It only happens when you're gone.
And then the other time we want to, when you're here, is about something you have no idea about.
Absolutely. I just kind of sit quietly while you talk and
We do tall.
talk.
I will
and
say,
talk.
if you wanna watch some of the Spider-Man game, I was streaming it over on Inventory Full PT on Twitch. Go ahead and check those out.
Ooh, hey.
Yeah.
Set up a plug for you.
But yeah, and I'm gonna stream some more tomorrow. But it's it's so good. You know what else is good? The Velveteen Dream. Ooh, baby. Now this all of this makes sense because Dream the god of the universe, as we know, technomancer, known technomancer, and he's being interviewed.
Noted indie wrestler Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
He's gonna lights are gonna start to flicker, and he comes, and you'll be taken to the phantom zone that is his fog palace. But he's being interviewed by the classic NXT Scrum interview, and the guy goes, "Hey, you're doing pretty good, all right." Yeah, I beat Johnny Gargano. All right, tell us who beat up Aleister Black. And rightfully so, you have an opportunity to interview the Dream, and you ask the Dream about somebody else? No. And totally bails.
Yeah.
100% justified.
Absolutely.
Where do they get these Scrum people?
From the Scrum store.
The Scrum store.
The
Now,
Scrumlands.
I do have to say the Fog Palace is the second nicest place that Velveteen Dream can take you.
The Fog Palace.
Is the first place bread?
Well, no, it's the Hog Palace.
Okay.
Oh, yes, of course. Hell of a rib joint, too.
Oh, yeah. All you can eat.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got sweet legs at Fat Ray's anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm crossing the streams here. But this was sort of more so than, hey, let's look at a package about Velveteen Dream. They reminded us that Velveteen Dream's around. What's next for him?
Wearing a tea cozy on his head.
Okay, I was really, really excited that you were going
Wearing
to
a tea
fit
cozy and nothing else.
Yeah.
That's how he unveils the Hog Palace.
Oh, it's cozy, all right. It's cozy in the Hog Palace. It's real tight. But after this, or no, Bill?
No?
Any more hog comments?
I mean,
Hog comments? Hog
comments.
I'm filled to the brim with them. But
Any hog comments from the anyway? All right. This
well,
guy,
he is what's known in the industry as a hog commodity.
Oh, yeah.
Can we do that in
No, that was good.
In the Prince font, a shirt that says hog commodity?
Commodity.
and it's the Velveteen Dream thing, but it's 3 pigs.
like the pig face, like a it would be circles. So like a pig.
Oh, yeah,
with like
yeah,
the
yeah.
snout.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. That but doesn't look like Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
But you know,
Who else will
no,
get
each
sued?
one is a hog.
Oh,
Forever.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Cool. Great minds. Speaking of great minds, let's talk about the Street Profits. We're getting to season 2 of Street Talk.
Yeah, in
Hell
the middle
yeah.
of a lightning storm.
Seriously.
That's Florida for you.
And they've just finished ballin', and it's time for an interview from someone that is never established.
Person.
But, we get a story about why Montez went after his chains, what they represent.
Chains. Just chains.
Excuse you. And Angelo, good backup man. Like, what? Yeah, good. Yeah, just
making noises.
Super
Not even
hype.
full words. Yeah, all the energy, none of the language.
Man, at least he wasn't sitting there just like licking his lips the whole time, like. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. It's straight. Oh man, ASMR. Shout out to our audio listeners again. Dear God. We have to stop. Please, we have to stop. Oh,
You know,
God.
our little smackerel.
Steve, I really hope the other engineers are just confused at how much I hope.
Steve's just
I really
vomiting.
hope-
You guys will be thrilled to hear that Steve had to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Jeff.
have never been more confused in my entire
No, this is generally how the
I love
show's
you guys.
supposed to go.
Thanks, Jeff.
I guess we're on topic.
This is a pretty basic show for us.
Perfect.
But so after this, they thank the person for recording an episode for them, and we get some highlights after Bianca Bel-Air and Nikki Cross's match last week. What did you think of that? Because we didn't get to
Crazy.
talk to you about it.
I think Nikki Cross always offers something that's completely contrary from any women's match that you're going to see, and you end up expecting something different from her every single time. I almost find that it's difficult to imagine her in a main roster setting as having to adhere to a main roster type of women's wrestling. She should be the hardcore alternative for women. They should put her in different situations and different matches that highlight how far outside of the box she is when it comes to women's wrestling. She's just something completely different, and I hope that it continues once she gets called up.
I mean, I hope that Bill and I both discussed last week, we hope that this continues. And we're pretty sure that it's going to. Bianca maintained her undefeated streak because this was a draw.
Barely, technically.
Well,
I mean, just like the Green Bay Packers are undefeated. They're 1-0-1.
Well, it's like Asuka she maintained her undefeated streak because she wasn't pinned in a tag match.
Right.
They reported it, and they just stopped talking about that tag match after a little while.
Boy, that was wild, huh?
Yeah, they just kept being like, she remains unpinned and unsubmitted, and then after like a month of, okay, did everybody forget? Cool. Undefeated!
Well, it's in singles competition. Singles competition is where it really counts in the world of professional wrestling, unless you are in a dedicated tag team. If you're in a dedicated tag team, then yes, you as a unit want to get as many wins as possible. But if it's you lumped in with somebody else and you happen to get pinned, it's not in a singles competition. Therefore, it doesn't necessarily count towards your goals or your true intention, which is to attain a title in singles competition.
Yeah, I wonder how the records will reflect. I mean, records aren't necessarily a big thing unless you're undefeated or very defeated when it comes to Kurt Hawkins. But like, how will the mixed match challenge affect everything?
Yeah,
like it doesn't anymore. Like, people were wondering if Asuka and Miz were going to lose last year and they didn't. They won, and we got them back. But let's oh boy, we got a big old boy coming up here, facing a small boy, the debuting Humberto Carrillo, very lucha boy, son of Hector Garza,
against the debuting Waxon Flaxon Craxton Blackston
Dexter Jetster, Jackson Riker. You look at it and it's why couldn't it just be Jackson? It had to be X.
It's an extremely impact name. Zaxton Blackston.
The that might have been the heaviest pouring of salt.
Yeah.
It's a very impact name.
It is a very impact name. I mean, all their names have to have Z's or X's in them.
Zima Ion.
DJZ.
Who's DJZ now? Yes.
They should just call him Riker. Honestly, everybody's gonna get one name anyway. Just make it Riker already.
Yeah, Riker
Drop
sounds
the
good.
Jackson. It's dumb.
Probably can't trademark Riker even if it does have a Y in it.
Are you talking about Star Trek or are you talking about The Prison? Riker's Island.
Prison. Oh, the Star Trek.
Okay.
It's a big guy with a beard. His name's Riker. Can we trademark that? You cannot. You're unable to.
Now, if
Run, Riker!
Wait, did the Forgotten Sons?
Riker.
Did the Forgotten Sons they did. They already did the William Regal thing. If they had shown them entering and Jackson did the Riker maneuver and did the leg over the chair sitting down, then I'd be like, okay, hold on.
Yes.
But I mean,
just get that mouth on there.
Let's see Will Frakes' beard. Yeah.
He's.
Look at this. Oh,
another hog commodity showing up on the
getting overly hot here. It's warm in the studio.
bothered. So I mean, when we see a fresh face without a big old shirt or like a lot of gear, like with
got a lot of tattoos.
Like Raul Mendoza. We saw him come out and was like, oh, maybe this is gonna be, and then somebody comes out and like, oh, nope. So when we see Humberto Carrillo come out, what thoughts?
I'm glad to see that Tyson Kidd has found the fountain of youth.
We can't say that.
It's obvious.
He's supposed to be retired. He can't. It's for his safety. They didn't want him to come back, so he got the radical transformation surgery, and we're not supposed.
By which you mean he dyed his hair because it just is the same.
He just
face.
looks younger.
Stop. Quiet.
Got big old parachutes for
I
his legs.
don't quite know what that was.
And then he's got a Tyson Kidd face.
He
looks like he's in great shape.
Good shape.
It seems like it was a very short match. So we didn't get to see much of Humberto, but
Carrillo for some reason.
Yeah, not Carrillo as it would be pronounced, but apparently Carrillo.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the British thing that Nigel was doing. I guess I didn't catch it.
No, it was Morrow saying Carrillo.
Carrillo. Yeah. But Zeno Hour points out accurately in chat, Hijo del Ninja unmasked.
Okay.
Well, he was billed as El Hijo de Ninja, and he was also known as Garza Jr. But now
Garza
he's
Jr. I know. Yeah.
yeah, same guy.
Yeah.
Umberto Carrillo. No.
Yet
Humberto Carrillo.
Yet another completely gorgeous man who's been wrestling most of his career under a mask.
Yeah, it's weird how that works.
Hmm.
Well, it's just the lucha thing. I mean, like,
Your lucha things.
masks are marketable. Like, as far as like in lucha libre, like proper lucha libre, masks are marketable. Got a family connection. Like, you can be more of an icon with a signature mask than you just gorgeous Blenheim.
I think that I've seen less masks in lucha recently than I have. I think that masks are starting to cut way back.
Sure.
And I think there'll be more at some point in the future, but right now you see the trend of less and less
Well,
masks.
I mean, like, I also see people losing their masks earlier and earlier in careers, and I think it's because a lot of people, like, for example, King Cuerno or El Hijo del Fantasma,
Yeah.
like, they're wearing a mask because they're like the son or the nephew or like related to someone legendary. So like, why wouldn't you wear an homage to a legendary mask when you start your career and then lose that sucker, get paid, and then show off your beautiful face?
I wonder where the inheriting the mask started. Was it
El
El
del Santo,
It
yeah.
was El Santo. Okay, I didn't know if that was the very first case of it, or if that was.
I mean, that's the most famous.
Okay.
And like Blue Demon Jr.
Yeah.
Like, they
Right.
both happened about
they
the same
had
time.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, of those two.
Because
Yeah.
Santo never lost his mask. Blue Demon, I don't think ever lost his mask.
No.
I think so.
So like, yes, of course they have to wear masks to start with. So then and then at that point, just like, there's so many luchadors who are related to famous luchadors.
I was incorrect in my assessment in looking at Wikipedia. Xenoar says Garza Jr. is El Hijo de Ninja's cousin.
Okay.
So they're both
yeah,
related
I
to
think they
Hector.
said that Umberto was Garza's nephew.
No, Umberto's son, Garza Jr., is cousin. Both are signed.
Okay.
So both are under contract right now. But I mean, Jackson Riker with the top rope didn't look ready for that
Springboard
powerbomb.
powerbomb.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Bill and I were having an extended conversation about this as we saw it. Bill likes the bouncy with the thing.
I like either bouncy.
And I do not. I do not. It's to me it's I don't know. It doesn't have an actual point and purpose. You know, I'm a very straightforward wrestler myself. Not very flashy. I just hit really hard and I drop guys. That's what I do.
That's unsafe.
I don't care.
I mean, for them.
Yeah,
So I guess that works.
I'm fine.
Yeah. How are you? Are you good?
I'm okay. I'm getting over a infection.
Little buggerino.
Yeah, Buggerino. Yeah, the nose and the throat.
Ew.
That's why I sound like this, first-time listeners. I don't always sound like this.
Yeah, this is a rare case where
Yeah.
that's what Bane sounds
Well,
like.
if you want to hear some other sonorous voices on our network,
Yeah, that's right. AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channels, YouTube will suggest content that is tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about those pesky notifications, they are optional. We would appreciate it if you hit that little bell. It lets you know at the exact moment that we go live, but it is optional. So hit that subscribe button right now for this channel, AfterBuzz TV Wrestling and Sports, and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. But for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV Talk. I mentioned our comments last week, so I just wanted to shout out Skilled Buick, Shiny Diver, Yagendra Kadayat, Alon Godfrey, and Doug Unfunny. Thank you very much for taking part in the conversation. And to everybody live, Dang MQ, Zeno Hour, Lake, Maria Net, Mr. DJ King 26, Star Drew, I already said Zeno Hour. It's OOUUU. Oh. Yep. And Aaron B and Asuna.
yeah.
Thank
Buzz
you.
later.
Stardew Valley. Yeah. Nope, we ain't done. Aaron B accurately points out Bill likes the bouncy, Hobo just likes to pound.
Yeah, sure do.
Speaking of people who like to pound, we get a look at Keith Lee. to bask in his.
He's not a player.
No,
He just crushes a lot. He
ba-
just basks a lot.
he basks in his pounding.
This is a very interesting. I mean, is this technically a promo or is it a vignette? Because it's
a
like
vignette.
a vignette with a promo voiceover, basically.
Yeah.
But it's him.
Right, but it was a very interesting.
It's a package.
I'll say. Now, this hog commodity is a very interesting character that we haven't really seen a character quite like this in NXT before, where it's, I mean, as we've discussed many times, it's very difficult to really be a bad guy in NXT and in Full Sail because most people that come through they really like, unless you're, say, Eva Marie. But
It just worked.
R.I.P. But it's just a very interesting character where he's clearly an egomaniac. He is very full of himself. Now, even the good guys in wrestling have to be confident. They have to have a lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Motley Cruz, you got me in a bad way. But it's very classically heel things that he's saying.
Classically.
But I don't think that he's ever going to be a heel.
No, I don't either. But it's just a very interesting character because of the attitude that he's putting forward. It's not really something that NXT's seen before.
I just think you're right when you say it's a matter of confidence. And I think that's the one thing that he really brings forward in his character is confidence in what he is able to do, because that's how he's made his mark on professional wrestling
And when you,
as of now.
And when you look like Keith Lee and you're built like Keith Lee and you have Keith Lee's ability, why wouldn't you be that confident?
Right. So I think it's just a matter of him being confident, not necessarily overly confident, but just confident in what he's able to do. What the hell was that?
Perfect. Okay, I'm another, like, hey, reminder, Keith Lee's around, so I'm sure we'll see him soon again, but it hasn't been too long since we've seen him. Okay, speaking of weird, this was structured very bizarrely. So we get a flashback to EC3 implicating Lars Sullivan, and then EC3 getting beat up by starting it with no pretext and just, hey, look, EC3's talking, like, oh, maybe we have an announcement about what's next for EC3. Nope. Lars Sullivan, you missed him. No, he was just out there, but he's going to be returning to action in 2 weeks.
Yeah, this was the weirdest.
It's very weird, very bizarre.
Lars Sullivan returns to action. Like, he just beat up that little boy twice.
I don't think they had anything new to add, and that was the problem they had was, okay, we have this kind of this highlight match. It's a thing that people are probably going to want to see, but we haven't had anything new from either of these guys for a minute. And so, well, let's just do the same thing again, and we'll pretend like Lars wasn't here, and not even louder, like just exactly the same, but cut closer together so that people are reminded, oh, that's why we're having this match. That's why this kind of matters.
But they didn't announce that Lars is going to be fighting EC3. They just said Lars Sullivan returns to action next week.
Yeah, so it'll probably
So it's not even
maybe it's.
I think that if it's serving a function, it's just to remind us that EC3 and Lars Sullivan have a problem.
Yeah.
And
Right.
maybe Lars Sullivan will be in action and EC3 will run down and flex at him real hard.
Right. Yeah. So it reminds everybody that this is
so
still
tan!
this is still a place that they're trying to get to, a match between Lars and EC3.
I think this is going to be a great match for the pre-show of TakeOver.
Yeah.
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 And hopefully we'll be there to cover it live.
War games, brother.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because it's here.
I forgot about that.
Speaking of war games,
Speaking of war games, hey, Ricochet and Pete Dunne for
Yeah.
each other's championships.
what a good match.
This is a great match.
Yep.
That almost made me believe, oh, maybe they won't do the run-in, and maybe it'll just be like a double count-out,
No, it definitely
or a
is.
double knockout, or a double something, where
Double
they're like
pin.
something.
But the
then
fact
double
that they had
stretch.
it last week, that for me, that went, well, they're not going to.
Yeah.
Because they did it with Bianca last week. They've had the double count out. I was pretty sure they weren't going to do 2 weeks in a row.
But they said that they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah, but they're liars. They're dirty, filthy liars.
What?
Liars.
They're dirty and filthy.
Well, I mean, is one dirty and filthy enough for all
and
of them?
liars.
Well,
Liars, Sullivan?
They're liars too,
Adam
because
Cole-
he does not know how to play.
We don't know. Okay, we don't know
guitar.
that. We don't know that.
Well, he definitely can't play a belt like a guitar. We know that.
All right, okay,
That
all right.
is a fact.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
just to get
Chill
back
out.
to the dirty and gross. As my friends over at WrestleSplainia are fond of saying, Adam Cole is the prettiest possum in the dumpster.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I like
and,
that.
and that's his whole attitude, and that's how he moves, and that's how he acts, and that's how he wrestles.
Yeah.
That's a really good line.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Prettiest
solid.
possum in the dumpster.
That's pretty solid.
Guys should follow WrestleSplainia. They're very, very cool.
WrestleSplainia. Act
Kath
now.
Barbadoro and Rachel Millman, great comedians who are doing a great job at a wrestling podcast.
Very cool. This match was fun. It was very difficult to really take it seriously at times because we knew of the impending threat and sort of the impending end.
You just
but
it enjoy it at that point.
Exactly. Then it's like, ooh, that's gross. I didn't think that would
Yeah.
happen. Like tying Ricochet's arm up in his leg and then pulling on it real hard.
Yeah.
Bobby Baniak here went on a little journey of liking the story that they were telling and then sort of souring on it and then liking it again.
Like, ooh, this is nice. Hey, stop it.
It was one of those circumstances where I don't understand why Pete Dunne threw the first punch. He was totally in control. Ricochet kept trying to be like, yeah, I'm a wrestler. Look at me do the wrestling holds. And Pete Dunne be like, you are a friggin' tool. And just wrench all of his joints the wrong way simultaneously.
Yeah.
He was in complete control, but for some reason was just like, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah, I think Pete Dunne was ready for everything that Ricochet could. He never stopped fighting. To me, like even in the corner when he was getting chopped, he's like, no, and like try to kick him a little bit, or like just shove. Hey, shove off. Oh, he shoved you off. But like just he was always active and there and present, and I think if anybody would have won this match, or if anybody should have won this match, it would have been Pete Dunne for sure.
Because Pete Dunne is like he's 100% forward.
Do you think that him being the first to throw a close fist punch, do you think that perhaps informs how Pete Dunne could lose that match? Because although Pete Dunne was showing his superior wrestling ability, he was also showing that he was shorter of temper, and maybe that impetuousness that he has, like combined with Ricochet's like never say die spirit, like maybe that's how he foretells that he maybe can have an opening in his game. Like Ricochet can see, hey, if I get him exasperated enough, he'll lose his temper, and maybe that's where I can find a gap in his weakness.
Yeah, yes. And that is essentially what
and if
happened.
this match had another like 10 or 20 minutes to it, which it very easily could have,
This could have been the whole show.
that could have come back into play.
Yeah.
Where maybe Pete Dunne just can't put him away and completely loses it and just starts wailing on his face.
Yeah.
Wailing on his face meat with his hand fist.
Or takes
on
it
his
outside
face.
and starts doing some dirty stuff outside. Yeah, no, it's entirely possible that could have gone there. But I think
God.
the way the proper way to fight somebody who really likes to move and strike, and like Ricochet does, is stay really close. The moment that Pete Dunne just wailed on him with that punch and gave him that space, Ricochet was able to turn it around immediately, and that's what happens when you have somebody who moves like Ricochet. You want to just stay on top of him. So like you said, it was his frustration growing too quickly, and he allowed things to get out of control.
He's a wee bit of a hothead.
A little bit. Well, yeah,
wee?
that's kind of his entire thing.
Just a wee bit.
He's not the rational weight.
No, he's not. It's the
Because that's a
bruiser,
stupid name.
bruiser weight.
You're going to be laughing out the other side of your butt when I'm the rational weight.
Yeah.
The rational weight Bill Hanstock,
The
a
other
wrestler.
side of your butt.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
side without the hole.
No.
Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of, but speaking to the anger, I think there was a lot of recklessness on anything that wasn't a grapple when it came to Pete Dunne. Like X-plexes. Like he just threw him and threw him at the wall, expecting him to stick to maybe the lights.
And everyone should start learning. You don't throw Ricochet. He'll just do a million flips and just land on the top turnbuckle.
It's like did that.
It's like sticking a cat with a side of buttered bread. It just won't. It'll just
just keep spinning.
Perpetual motion machine. Any other highlights to this match? Because it's just
a match.
Good.
Yeah,
it was just super solid.
Two of the best. I mean, Pete Dunne, clearly one of the best wrestlers in the entire world right now.
Yeah,
can do no wrong. Looks amazing. He just gets better every time he goes out there. And it was a match with stakes for both men. Ricochet's always great and compelling to watch.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Ricochet's always compelling to watch.
Put literally Pete Dunne and Ricochet side by side. Yeah. Pete Dunne is far more compelling.
Sure.
Because he is in that ring and he is 100% trying to hurt the other guy.
Right.
Ricochet is sort of only in it when he's doing his whatever he's doing.
And half the time it seems like he's just trying to survive more so than making an attack. And but it's good to be available to take advantage of an opening.
I'm not saying Ricochet is more compelling than Pete Dunne. I'm just saying, like, in a Ricochet match, you can't let your guard down because you know something completely bonkers is liable to happen at any moment.
Yeah, like that kick just to the back of Pete Dunne's head, just sit down, like crumpled. Danger, body. This is where we remove guard. That's my Pete Dunne impression. How'd I do? Dagan Q is asking, Pete Dunne is never losing that title, is he? Is he?
Everybody's got to lose it sometime.
Well, once he runs into the absolute unit, Joe Coffey, I think, might be curtains.
That's what it is.
Unit.
What?
You think it? Never mind. I lost it. I just
Unit.
Some people are making the Pinky and the Brain theme song with Pinky Bill and Bobby Brainiac. One is a genius and the other is insane.
Hey,
it's you.
Can
You're
I
the
be
Brainiac.
both?
Yeah, no, you're the Brainiac. You're insane.
Oh.
Yeah, Pinky's the genius. You seen that theory?
Yes.
Because okay, good. You flipping
Of
better.
course.
So Undisputed Era. Oh no! They come out, stop the match before they even attack. The referee calls for the bell, which
Wait, really?
yeah, Drake called for the bell as soon as they rolled in, and and the bell started ringing right as they were making the attack, and I was like, okay, timing wise, but if there's a little bit more of a if the timekeeper was like. But no, it was shout out to our audio listeners. But if you know they hadn't interfered yet, what if they just came in, rolled in,
And you stood there.
And then stop.
I'm not touching him.
And then,
I'm not touching him.
Exactly. I think that would have been very Adam Cole, and all of them for that matter. But match is called. War Raiders make the save, chase off Undisputed Era, and the two competitors of our match are left staring face to
Everybody
face.
gets their belt back.
Yeah, that's it.
They should have Freaky Friday it, and they got the other's belt.
Oh, we did. Actually, we skipped something.
We did.
We didn't talk about Candice and Regal.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
No, sure didn't.
All right.
I mean, there wasn't much to talk about.
I did like
Johnny Gargano.
I did like the massive shade that Candice threw at William Regal though, where she's like, "Well, we're trying to keep our professional lives separate."
I like that. That was the only thing of this promo that I liked. Yeah.
It's not working.
There was,
Anyway.
We all love Candice to death.
Yep.
But there was a pause in this backstage segment that was so long that we were like,
She was thinking.
Is this buffering?
She was thinking.
Yeah.
That's that show. Mm-hmm. But we're not done. We're gonna talk a little bit about some news.
AfterBuzz TV news.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Steve. We got our 2K19 DLC announced, and they say that this is it. Bill doesn't believe them, but they for sure announced all of the packages today. And actually, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So all of the characters that were announced were Bobby Lashley, Lio Rush, Dakota Kai, Ricochet, Lacey Evans, EC3, Candice LeRae, Hanson, Rowe, and the Kanellises. Mike and Maria Kanellis. Maria will be playable.
And it's interesting. So these are 2 packs. There's a Future Stars pack, which has
good.
7 people in it.
Well, no, there's the Titans pack.
Yes.
Which is Hanson and Rowe, Bobby Lashley, and EC3.
Yes.
And then
that's
there's
$10. And then there's the Future Stars pack that has 7 people in it.
No, the Rising Stars just has Ricochet, Lacey Evans. It's more than
Scroll
this?
down. It's
Scrolling
just
down?
that's just the graphic.
Okay.
The Rising Stars pack
Yeah,
has the
there
other
you go.
7 people, and it's $10.
Yeah.
So they're both $10.
It's per
One
pound.
has 4. Yeah,
It's price per pound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
all
just,
right.
you just, sometimes you go to the store and you're not even aware they're having a special, and you're like, oh, you bought 3 bagels. Here's a Leo Rush, and you just drop it on top. You don't even notice it.
Free Leo Rush.
And he flips right on out.
Like
He's got it on locks.
I go to this donut shop, and the person that's by my house, and I always get like either 1 or 2 things. But the person who works there, like if she's working there, she knows me, and so she like always puts extra stuff in. So last time I went in, I just got 1 donut, and then like she gave me my pack, and I was walking out, and I was like, yeah, I didn't really expect any extra stuff. And then I opened it up, 3 donut holes extra on top. That's as much. Fun fact. Leo Rush's build weight, 3 donut holes.
I believe it. I believe it. I've seen him.
And he also
Mostly
smells.
head.
He also smells like a glazed donut, so it's really hard when Bobby Lashley's throwing him around and not just be like, "Ooh, it's almost cheat day."
By the way, we were talking about this before you got here, but
Bring it.
Marco's stunt in person is
I hear he's a tiny.
unsettlingly small.
I hear he's a very tiny man.
Yeah, he's a little baby.
guy-
What's great is all of his stuff is Rugrats themed, all of his merch. So like there's a drawing of him as like a Rugrats character. It's very good.
That's pretty choice. Pretty choice. Aaron B says, "What? No state line? I'm not buying it."
Yeah. I agree.
Well, we'll make it ourselves and make it downloadable for you.
No Murphy. Oh, that's right. No Buddy Murphy. No Ciampa. No Nikki Cross. It's a lot of surprises.
I'm convinced that there's either going to be one more DLC pack. I mean, we know there's a Legends pack coming, but I think there's going to be either one more DLC pack or there's going to be unlockable characters in the game. Because I don't think that they're going to not have Ciampa in the game.
I would hope not. I really
Maybe
would hope.
Or they're just bosses.
Maybe they just weren't able to
can't
render
play
his
as them.
beard.
Maybe not. It's not good enough. So he thumbs downed it and just like, nope. If you can't get it right, might as well not do it at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else wants to talk about?
Well, we got a little bit of time.
I mean, not too much time.
Okay. then no, Mark.
Okay. Well, I mean, not something that's going to take us 10 minutes to talk
All
about.
right.
But is there anything else in the wrestling world?
I mean, lots.
Fair.
Cody Rhodes was at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood for the first time ever. He was very impressed with everything, and he was actually nervous to be out in front of our audience, in front of our lights. It was very silly.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was like, okay.
Well, the news to come out from that.
Did you take him aside and you're like, you've been at WrestleMania.
I think it really shows that he still gets the butterflies.
Sure. That's good.
There isn't that point for him at least where he's just like, man, this is another day at the office. Yeah. I'm not fazed by anything. I'm all over. I'm way
Hashtag
under
all
me,
over.
and so he's still really energetic and still very positive about his time in the wrestling
And
business.
perhaps even more importantly, it shows that he really respects everywhere he performs.
Yeah, and I knew that about him from when he was first released from WWE, and I started seeing him in multiple places. And he was always very respectful towards everybody, shook everybody's hand. He always has been coming into the independent scene with this lineage behind him and this understanding of who he is in the grand scheme of professional wrestling. He is a really big deal, and he's trying to show that it's not something that he's unaware of, but he's just approaching it with a very I'm just like everybody else kind of vibe. But that at the same time elevates everyone else.
Agreed. Yeah, seeing him in the ring with professional Peter Avalon was a bit of a vision, and I'm sure Peter enjoyed that despite taking a Crossroads.
Well, yeah.
But there's a possible championship match in his future.
I mean, he's beaten Tim Storm twice.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that alone,
huge.
you go, yeah, maybe he does deserve the title
He's
shot.
being a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion twice. I
Yeah.
think that at least puts him in the conversation. But we know that it's going to be Willie Mack versus Cody Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight, current Hollywood Heritage Champion, at Ring of Honor's tapings on the 29th.
Yeah.
And then whoever wins there is going to take on Nick Aldis at the 70th anniversary show. Exciting time to be a wrestling fan. Wrestling is so cool, and just the idea of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship being defended anywhere and everywhere is remarkable, and it really brings a sense of anything can happen, which you know it's a thing that people say, but it's happening.
And
anything can happen.
The NWA's title, with Cody Rhodes holding it, makes it worth more than it has been worth in an extremely long time.
And all this was no slouch, and Tim Storm
No.
is a workhorse.
Right.
So I think that Tim Storm being in Aldis's corner for All In, I think was a huge tip of the hat of where the NWA has been, and now where it's going, no one knows. I think we can drop the news cue for now and start wrapping up. Bill, where can the folks find you? What are you working on?
You can find me on all social media at Sundown Motel.
Hell yeah! And you just released a new film, eh?
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch Alien Predator for free. I wrote it.
Yeah.
Alien Predator.
Yeah, Alien Predator. Makes sense.
Hell yeah. Sounds awesome.
Hobo.
All right.
You can find me on social media at Baines Destroy. You can watch me on Championship Wrestling from Arizona and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood on Fight TV. I'm all over those shows, and I'm doing some really crazy stuff on there. It's a lot of fun.
Glad you're having fun almost eviscerating people. It's great.
I love what I do.
Where can people find you wrestling in person at places?
We've got Pro Wrestling on the 27th of September in Burbank at the Moose Lodge.
Oh, very
out
cool.
of the fire and into the frying pan, which implicates that somebody is going to die.
Probably.
If you get hit with the frying pan, you die.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Be careful,
The
everybody.
frying pan is death to anyone it touches.
Well, come to watch somebody die.
Someone
You can
gonna die.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mark Donica. Keep an eye on all the stuff that I'm doing. If you're a fan of the movie Trivia Schmodown, keep a weather eye open. But for all of us here at AfterBuzz TV, make sure to follow us at AfterBuzz TV, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.